And we're going to go ahead and have our guest speakers now. And we have a full team of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's right. The 5 SRS team is here. Guys, go ahead and say hello.
What the hell is
Come on. Let's. Oh, that was not.
Hi.
There we go. There we go. You're going to feel like there are 5 people in this room. There you go. So, welcome. This is the SRS team. Go ahead and say your names for our listeners.
Well, my name is Arnav Bao.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Samrit Mathur.
Welcome.
My name is Rashad Bidullah.
Yes.
Volmik Mugam.
Oh, wow, I like that energy.
And I'm Justin Pablo.
Nice, welcome aboard. And we are at the last segment of the hour where we always interview our guest speakers. We have about 6 minutes to do this, and I really want to get through all the wonderful things you guys have done. So Valmik, how about you lead the brigade? Tell us about why you're here, what are you doing, and what's the event next week?
Well, so I'll start off with what the event is next week. So next week we're going to the Odyssey of the Mind World Finals, which will take place in Michigan State University.
Good job.
Okay. So it's basically a creative extravaganza of teams from 100 plus countries, and they'll show off their creative skills and ingenuity solving different problems involving engineering, drama, and of course arts.
And you've been doing this how long?
Well, we've been doing this together for 5 years, so we've kind of gotten pretty close together as like a family almost.
Cool. So who's going to tell me about the team and what the team's been done? Arnav, why don't you go ahead?
Well, our team is really good at working together since we're all really good friends.
Okay.
Our team members, as you said before, Volmik, Rishabh, Justin, Samrit, and I.
Yes.
Justin and I are in the 7th grade, while Rishabh, Volmik, and Samrit are in the 8th grade. We started out this program in 2011, and for us, it was 3rd and 4th grade.
Okay.
We heard about this program, Odyssey of the Mind, and after our first year, we decided to do it every year until now.
Why is that? What did you like?
Well, we really like the actual program values, such as creativity, teamwork, and etc.
So it's always been the 5 of you, the same 5 of you?
We've had a few other team members, but they couldn't join following year. Most of them only joined 1 year because of other
commitments. Of course, yes.
And after 5 years, it comes naturally to us. It's like sleeping with your eyes closed.
That sounds good. Okay, that's also called daydreaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, our accomplishments.
Yes.
When we were in our first year, we were just getting the hang of things. And we didn't really win anything. But in our 2nd through 5th years, we've advanced from the regional to the state.
Okay.
To put a cherry on top, we had actually won and advanced to the world level in our 2nd year.
Okay.
That was in Iowa, so it was really fun.
Okay.
Also, we've achieved the Ranatra Fusca, an award for creativity, twice. This year, we have earned it, and we're moving on to the World Finals, as Volmik said, next week.
Awesome.
But our coaches say, it's not about winning, it's always about the journey.
You know what, I'm going to say, the first year you said you won nothing, but actually first year you won the best thing of all. What was that?
I think learning about the program.
Exactly.
Actually having
there you go, you're smart. So I know we've got about 3 minutes more, 2 or 3 minutes more. So what's the secret of your success, Rishabh? Go for it.
So there's been 3 main factors to our success. The first is that, as Arnav explained, we are a team, and so we know each other, we know the ins and outs of each other, and we can collaborate on any project that we do.
Yes.
And the second factor to our success was that we all have prior experience in engineering. We started out doing Lego robotics, some of us. Some of us started doing extracurricular programs at school. And so Odyssey of the Mind was one way that we could tie it all together. And then the final factor, and probably the most important factor, was that we had great mentors and parents to support us along the way.
Of course, yes.
And so the mentors, they especially provided their house room for that we could do the project, and they provided us guidance and support. And so without them, we couldn't have gone all this way.
That's great, But I always wonder how you started. So Samrit, what inspired you to start? How do you pick a problem for the program?
Yeah, we started Odyssey of the Mind by first researching on their website and finding out that their values of teamwork and creativity really applied to us, and they appealed to us because they could be used in the real world. And the way that we picked a problem was that we used our skills in general, our team is really good at engineering. So the problem that we did involved vehicles and actually hands-on building the vehicles and doing the engineering part of it.
Nice. I like that. But you're sounding so perfect, but every team has like this little thing that they watch out for. So who's going to tell me, some things that you want to watch out for, things you're worried about, you hope that goes well. I know Justin hasn't spoken yet, so you want to give it a shot? Okay.
So really things we want to watch out for is during transportation, we should make sure that everything remains intact.
Yes.
And really make sure that we're well rested and everybody's working well together.
Yes.
And one of our weaknesses is one part of the competition is when they have an on-the-spot problem where we have to solve in, say, 5 to 10 minutes. So mainly our weak point is during the verbal section where we have to give creative responses based on situations.
Okay.
So those are the things that's mainly all we're worried
about. Okay. If you make a mistake, what's the motto? What would you do?
Better luck next time.
There you go. I love that. Better luck next time. Never look back. All right. So really quickly, before we end the show, since you guys have reached this awesome, success point, I think you're all already successful. Obviously we're wishing you the very best for the competition that's coming up next week, and we're going to be rooting for you. So, good luck for that. But what is the one thing you've learned? Really quick, in one sentence. Let's go one by one. All of you.
For me, it's hard work and perseverance.
Lovely.
One of the quotes I've learned was, I didn't know who threw the baseball. Then it hit me. Well, this is what we have to try to avoid and be persistent and give hard work to the
Persistent and give hard work, yes. Anyone else, what have you learned? Really quick.
We learned how to be creative and learn how to turn ordinary things into something really imaginative.
I love that. I actually beautifully love that. That's what books are all about. That was our theme for today. Take something ordinary and turn it into something extraordinary. Go ahead.
One of the biggest things I learned was collaboration and teamwork. Because I went to a new school and all of us pretty much go to different schools, OM is the one thing that really ties us together, which is one thing I really like.
Lovely. I love that. And the last two speakers, what have you learned?
One thing we really learned is how to improvise in difficult situations, because we've noticed that when you go to the competition site, nothing really goes as planned it.
Yeah.
So we've really learned to make things work with what we have.
Beautiful. And the last speaker, but never the least, Valmik.
So one thing we've learned is the value of people and their different skills. I think it's one of the most important things. And Rishabh, he can sell you pocket lint for $1 a pop, and you'll say that you can regret it. And there's Arnav, the devil's advocate. He can find a loophole in any contract.
All right.
Samrit, who can stay calm even though the sky is falling on his head, which a lot of times it is.
Yeah.
And there's Arnav, and there's Justin, who's always good at improvising. I mean, he always changes things. And of course, then there's me. I can make a fool out of myself in that situation.
That was not a fool at all. I loved all the messages. Here's wishing all the listeners a very, very good week. I hope you continue to improvise and find beautiful things in everything that's ordinary around you. Thank you all for coming in today. This was an awesome segment. I hope you come back when you win the championship. And even if you don't, you come back and tell us how it went.
Thank you.
Everybody, you're listening to Zindagi Kids Express. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Jia John, you'll be back same time next week.